when these products come into your life, you don't realize that you are going to make some of the best friends of your life, and you are going to make, such changes for your family and everybody else's family. And even if they're cross line, like, we're always bouncing ideas off of each other. We're always sharing, like, hey, I have this. I get it all the time. I have these guys who really would love like a masculine blend, but all the things I find are, usually perfume blends. Like, what do you got for me? And it's just really nice that we can all come together. So even though Doug said something about, if a man asks you, what's that smell, run, I might be the one guy that you can ask and you're all right. So that's a great lead in there, Doug. It was great. It was great. Okay, so social media. Let's talk about that. First, we're going to talk about the fact that I'm sitting here in my favorite Lucky Brand shirt that I got from TJ Maxx. It cost me $7. I'm drinking wine out of one of the glasses that they gave us as a gift when we went to Hawaii. So here's to you, Jill. And I'm on my couch with my house just the way that it is. Why? Because this is me. I'm not getting all dressed up. I'm not rearranging the furniture. There's a couple of ring lights around to brighten things up a little bit in here. We just bought the house, so we have to work on some things. But I am sitting here. This is how you're going to find me walking down the street. This is how you're going to find me. As long as I'm not in my uniform, unless it's something special that I'm going to be like completely dressed up for, like a wedding, you're going to find me on my social media in all ways like this. Why? Because this is who I am. And this is the most important thing I want everybody to take away from this, is that you are you, and you are special, and you're important. And that means that there's going to be other people out there that agree with me, and they are going to want to follow you. Why? Because you resonate with them. If you try to turn yourself into somebody who looks 100% perfect and curated all the time, it's going to be exhausting, because nobody's like that. You will wear yourself down, and it will not be authentic. And there's an alphabet that I have figured out with social media. Authenticity is believability, right? And then I should have written the other ones down, and now the words are out of my head. Consistency is dependability. There we go. I was like, wait. So those are really important to remember. Show up as yourself, 100% as yourself. People think when they start following me, and they're like, oh, he's happy. He's a dancing dad is actually what people keep messaging me about, not realizing that I don't have kids yet. I figured he'd look over. Yeah, I figured he'd giggle. It's really funny. They think I'm a straight single dad. Which means they're not really looking at all my stuff. So remember, people are getting bits and pieces of you. So you never really know what somebody is watching and the perception that they're creating about you. So it is important to show up as yourself in all facets that you're comfortable with. That is important. Some people are not okay with sharing about grief. If you don't know my story, I lost my dad. And then about 8 months later, my partner, Clayton, had passed away from terminal liver failure. So I lost them at a very, very close timeline and had no time to grieve. I write a widowed blog. We weren't married, but that doesn't matter. A piece of paper doesn't change it. So I am in the widowed community, and I share about that. I didn't at first on social media. I shared it only in the space that I wrote for, Soaring Spirits International. For anybody that needs that kind of support, please reach out to me. But then when the world shut down, I started seeing posts where people were just getting very sad and depressed. And I said, my story doesn't match exactly what they're going through, but if I can share with them what I've gone through this week, and they can see how I'm handling grief, I'm going at it full force. And then I'm going to move on and be positive and try to grow from it. Maybe it'll help. And it has. So what I have learned over the past year, I have learned that people are done with fake. I don't really see the Kardashians as much as I used to all over the world. Why? Because people are done with them. People want real life. If any of you are close to my age, you'll remember that the first episode of The Real World, when it showed up on what was it, MTV, was fascinating. Of course, some stuff was staged, but the beginning of the reality shows were what people gravitated to because they felt like they were getting to know somebody on a personal level. And that is something that is extremely important right now. People want connection. So you have to start to reboot your system when it comes to social media. You're going to have to rearrange what you think social media is in order to move forward. Those are blocks. I thought social media was there for me to just post cute things. Then I started doing oils and I was posting like everyone needs a starter kit. If I look back now at the way I was sharing with oils, I was salesy. We're not salesy, we're sharesy. You can quote me on that one. But I looked back, I stepped back and I assessed myself and I gave myself the feedback. Would I actually join oils with Bryan 3 years ago? In some of my posts, I wouldn't have. So I am extremely honest with myself, which means I'm extremely authentic. I do not post trash like madness on social media. Your social media is whatever you want, but I will tell you right now, this may bug you a bit, but good. I'm here to poke and prod the bear. Right? Winter's done, spring, just stop hibernating. If you are posting constantly about political and religious views in rants, if they're not positive, you are going to attract the same thing, which means you will start getting more and more people that come to your page and start following you and start commenting, and they're negative comments. If you're constantly being negative about stuff, people are not going to believe that peace and calming is actually giving you peace and calming. Are you a product of the product? You have to be really careful with what you're posting and you have to be authentic, except make sure you're checking yourself, right? I'm usually not this rough with people, but I want you guys to be successful. So I tell everybody, if you want to post something political, that is within your right. If you want to post something that is of faith-based, that is within your right. Just be mindful of how you are writing it or what you're doing, because it will be a reflection on all of you. Like it will literally, they'll say their whole life must be stressed. Their whole life must be this focused on this. Again, I'm not trying to take away anyone's ability to share, but I want you to be mindful of how you're posting it. You will never, ever, ever see me post about politics or faith because that's mine. I keep that to myself. That is something that I'm very private about for a lot of different reasons. Maybe someday I'll share them, but for me, I don't want to upset or offend anybody that may be slightly different than me because I have so much to learn in life. The more people I can get that want to follow me, the more people I can collect and I can bring along my journey of growth through grief, the more people I can help, which means the more people are there that I can get oils to, because oils are a part of me, not all of me. So those things are really, really important. Okay, now, social media has completely changed. They want authenticity. They want the real you. You know, like don't copy what everybody else does. If one or two young living leaders who are really popular decide to make a reel with a song and they do something and then 900 other people do it because they did it, guess what the internet's flooded with? The exact same video. Guess what everyone's doing? Next. I already saw 6 people wearing that big brimmed hat in a field with lavender. I don't want to see it again. Like, why would they want to do that? I know, right? Like I'm touching on some things. Oh, he just said that. I did. If you can take what they did and you can change it and make it new, then you'll catch someone's attention. Use what you see the rest of us do to your benefit, but be yourself. I saw all these people doing that. What was that like? Yeah, like that dance, like where they were like, when your husband loves the essential oils, and they were behind them and like bending down. It was like a Beyonce song or something. I don't know. I was like, I love this, but I can't do that. Well, I could do that. But I ended up going a totally different route. I go, what could I do with oils in a song that would catch people's attention, but it would be funny? And I did The Little Mermaid. I ended up grabbing something that so many people can relate to, and their kids. Like, look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you say my collection's complete? And I'm like going through my room, showing all the oils, picking stuff up, acting like myself, a complete goofball. And that video on Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels went through the roof. Because everyone's like, I love this video. I love this song. This is hilarious. Oh my gosh, you totally love oils. And boom, 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 boom. I didn't do what I saw everyone else do. I took something that I related to. Being a marine biologist, I thought that was funny. I love The Little Mermaid. I just applied part of my life to another part of my life, and it blended together and it took off. So keep that in mind. Just because you see an influencer do something doesn't mean you need to jump on the train. How many people on this? I can't see everybody. 274 people, but I can see one screen. I want to see how many people raise their hand on the screen that I'm on right now. Who thinks they're an influencer in social media land right now? Jill, get your hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Dawn. Yes, you are. 6. There's 6 that I see on this screen. And where did the videos go? Something just changed. Anyway, there's 6 people on this, and now we're going across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 25 people on this screen. That percentage is really low. Guess what? Everybody who has one person who follows them is an influencer. You already have that ability. You already have that title. And guess what? Your biggest fan is your biggest influence. And guess who your biggest fan is? I'm sure some people said, my mom. I'm sure she could be, but guess what? You need to be your own biggest fan, because you influence your own life and your own decisions. So once you're your own biggest fan, you will do amazing things. If you're looking to reach out to everyone else in hopes they follow you to validate what you're doing, you're not going to get anywhere. There you go. That's there's the mindset shift that really honestly has to happen. So when you do that and you're your authentic self, you will go through the roof. Because why? People are following you. And if they don't want to follow you, it doesn't matter. And we'll talk about that in a second too. So I'm going to say I love doing lives. I know a lot of people don't like doing lives because they're afraid that they're going to forget stuff. I have a dry erase board. This is one of my favorite things to tell my team. When you're doing lives, if you're worried you're going to forget something, just write it on a dry erase board. And then you put it on the back behind your computer so nobody sees it like a teleprompter. They don't know you need help remembering, but also it's normal to need help remembering. So it's not that big of a deal. Having notes in front of you, you're looking down a lot. So people aren't really seeing you. Have it here so you can just glance to the side. So there's a little bit of a tip for you. Okay, we're going to rethink, renew, rebrand social media, right? So we're going to go through them very quickly. I also want to give people time, and I'm keeping my clock here. I want to give people some time to ask some questions. I'm going to wrap things up at the very end with Facebook and where Facebook's at right now. So you guys really need to think about what social media means to you. And if you are social sharing, we're not going to say social selling because we don't do that. We share. Social sharing. How many seashells does the Little Mermaid have? So if you're doing part of your business online, which a lot of us have been forced into, but that is also the way of the world, you need to embrace it. It's something that people say, I hate this, I don't like this, I don't like doing that, I like in-person classes. That's great, but what if in-person classes disappears again? Did you do any of the work ahead of time to prepare for that? We all prepare for things ahead of time, and working on your social media in whatever fashion works for you is going to almost be a buffer when things start to slow down. You will always find new people. To me, a warm market is anybody with a pulse. That's it. It does not matter who they are. Everyone says my warm market's all just dried up. That's it. If you're constantly posting and getting new followers, you constantly have a warm market. So start to rethink what social media is for you. If you're nervous about it, that's okay. If you are like, I don't want to go live, I might mess up on something about oils, then go live and talk about your dog. Go live and talk about the paint you just put up on the wall in your house. Because why? Your friends and followers just want to see your life. They don't want to see you just go live for oils. When Devin and I sit down, we sit here and we do something that happened over on TikTok. We just jump on and say, hey, let's chat. What questions do you have? We'll talk about anything. We invite people to come into our home. It happens to be social media, and we share whatever the day was like or the week. And we do it a couple times a week. And I'll bring that up again, why that's so important. But we're rethinking what social media land means to us. We're taking the bits and pieces that have worked on all platforms, and we're blending them all together, and it seems to be working very, very well. And I'll give you some numbers, because I know there's some numbers people out there that like to actually hear that. We're going to get rid of excuses starting now. So we already talked about followers. I don't have 1 million followers. That doesn't matter. I know people that have very small teams in Young Living and are at a very high rank, because those people have everybody completely on board. They love the products, they're brand partners, and they are on subscribe and save. I know people that have thousands and thousands and thousands of people on their team, and they're not even executives, because those people aren't ordering all the time, and they are not on subscribe and save, and it's hard to find brand partners. I've been in that boat myself. So keep in mind that you cannot say, I am not going to do well because I don't have a following. It has to go away. I am not going to do well because I don't look perfect in a brimmed hat, and I don't have 2.5 perfect children, and my husband is handsome and has a wonderful job. Like, that is not what works. What works is you showing up as you. So please drop those excuses, because that just means you're putting yourself down. Don't do it anymore. You need to be your number one follower. Okay. I want to see everyone shake their head yes. Good. That's recorded. That's now a binding contract. Okay, so being consistent is huge. We talked about authenticity. Being consistent is the other thing, and that is a part of being authentic. Sorry, my words today. I had my teeth cleaned today, and now they feel funny. So anyway, being authentic. Part of being authentic is you want to be believable, right? So show up as your true self. Show all different facets of that. And then consistency. If you are not showing up on a regular basis, people don't see you. First and foremost, if you're not showing up on a regular basis, just in general, people are not going to see you, because you're not going to show up in their feed. They're not going to think about you. I show up consistently every single day in a number of ways. And if I don't show up, people message me asking if they should call the police to do a check on me. Right? I'm always making sure, pick whatever schedule works for you. But also, when it comes to excuses, if you say, I don't have time to do one post on social media about your day because it's so busy, then I will come back with you with this, and I will say, take a picture of your crazy that you don't have time to post about, and post about it. Anybody else having a day like this? Boom, there you go. Like, you don't have excuses anymore. And if you're not posting, and social media is a big way for you to find people, guess what's not going up? Your number of enrollments, which eventually means your paycheck and your rank. So at the end of the day, if this is important to you and getting to where you want to get for your business, if you're not posting, then you are not supporting yourself. Again, remember, be your number one follower, be your number one fan. Don't undermine your own goals. Find a time. If you have an hour on a Saturday that you're left alone, run around your house and take pictures. Run around your house, do quick little videos of yourself and store them. Now you have things to post all week long. So there you go. That excuse is gone. Somebody asked, what are the best times of the day to post? That's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but I'll tell you what I do. And that's also, it's something I was going to bring up. So thank you for asking. I just happened to catch it. I try to post in the morning and I try to post at night most days of the week. I get up in the morning. I try to post something at about 6:30, 6:45, because it works with my commute home. 6:45 where I am, I'm in the central time zone. That means 7:45. So all the people that are at East Coast are up. They've already taken their showers or brushed their teeth. I hope at least they brush their teeth. And they are checking out Facebook as they get their coffee. Everybody who is on my time zone at around that time have just probably gotten out of their shower. Maybe they're starting to look at their phones. Then you got mountain time, just an hour behind. And then 2 hours behind that's Pacific. Why can't I speak today? Literally, this is the only glass of wine I've had, I swear. So now I've got the East Coast people ready to go for work, coffeeed up. They are loving on my Facebook. That's boosting the algorithm. That then gets shown to everybody on the central time zone who's starting to get their coffee, boosting it up. By the time they're done doing that and they're at work, all the people mountain time are starting to do the same thing. And then they push it to the people who are on California time. So I play with that in the morning and at night. So you do the same about 5:30 my time. So 6:30 East Coast. Why? Everybody on the East Coast, 6:30, they're probably done with dinner. What are they doing? Scrolling. Everybody at Central Time around dinner time, what does everyone want to do? Check my phone one more time before I have to sit down to dinner. Those people behind in Mountain Time are about to get out of work. When they get into their car, what are they going to do? Wow. And then all those people just push the algorithm. So everybody over there on the West Coast, I'll probably show up on their feed. And the cool thing is when you start going international with followers, guess what happens? Those time slots match to the opposite side of the world. So you're hitting people at dinner in Australia and like breakfast in the United States at the same time. So you're covering, basically you're covering the planet. That's what works for me. Okay, so consistency, and that means you're dependable. So when somebody is authentic, somebody is believable because you're being honest, then on top of that, you are consistent. That automatically generates dependability. And what does dependability mean? It means they can trust you. It means that you're going to follow through on what you say, and that what you're saying is what you truly believe. Whether or not there are people on this planet that actually think oils have a place or not, it doesn't matter. You believe that. That is your perception. That is your truth. And people will see that. So then what will they do? They're going to reach out. They're going to talk to you. So having all that stuff, that alphabet start, if you have that going for you, have I been accountable? Am I believable? Am I consistent? Does that mean I'm showing up as dependable? Do your follow-ups with people. Then you've pretty much done the road work that I've been doing. When it comes to the dependability part, that will level it up a bit. And as your social media grows, you will have to put more time into some of the details like messages. There's some fast ways to do some things. If you have Project Broadcast, that's fantastic. I did not use it for a while because I was having trouble with it, but I sat down, I got rid of the excuse, and it is now one of my best friends because everyone signing up gets a text message from me and they're like, is this really you? And I say, yes. And sometimes I send them a quick video with their name. Yeah, Rhonda, it is me. I'm so excited you got oils. And then Rhonda messages back, I can't believe you took the time to do this. What else should I order? Because I'm there for her. I'm not just an automated system. I try to show up as a human as much as I can. So when you are doing your messages, make sure you're reaching out to people and you're answering them all. Make sure, I mean, if they're inappropriate, get rid of them, but, and we'll talk about haters in a minute, but when people message you, it means the world to them if you message back, especially on social media. You may have 2,000 followers, and if one person messages you and you respond back, guess what? They know that you saw them in the sea of 2,000 people. Do you know how much power there is in that? Do you know how much like emotion it can be when somebody reaches out that has a huge following. How many people have messaged somebody with a really large following and you get a response back and you are just so grateful that they would take the time? I'm seeing hands go up. Yeah, I'm totally seeing hands go up. So that is really important. If you can do voice messaging back, that levels it up even more. Why? You're taking the time to speak with them. I will personally tell you with my Hobbit thumbs, me doing voice messages is faster than me typing. So it actually saves me time and I get that personal connection with them. So make sure you're responding to messages. Now, I don't want everyone to get super distracted, but we're going to talk about Facebook messages right now. So I'm going to give you a little pointer of something to do, but I don't want you to go through when you find what you find. I do not want you to stop listening and focus on that. Okay. All right. On Facebook, there's actually a spot where you may have hidden missed messages and spam. So if you go to your Facebook, and of course this video will be posted, if you go to your Facebook and you go to Messenger, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, up top here on the left is a picture of yourself. If you tap on that, it brings up a new screen. Sorry, it's kind of bright. It brings up a new screen. 1, 2, 3, 4 down, it says message requests. These are not things you're going to get notifications on. Click on that. You'll say message requests. I clear this out. People you may know and spam. You need to check that every single day because you have no idea who may show up in that box because Facebook decides to filter things. They don't know if you know this person. So to protect you, they may put them over. So you may have somebody on Facebook that's following you, that's asking about oils and wants an Aria kit, a Thieves kit, 10 feathers, and also want to be a brand partner and a diamond yesterday. And they might just be sitting in your spam. Instagram, it's easier to see that. It's right there. If you're on TikTok, messaging is a little weird on TikTok. I don't even deal with it over there. But you need to check that on Facebook. So I would be surprised as people go through if you throw in the comments, don't get distracted. Don't answer them back right now. If you happen to find hidden messages that you didn't realize was there, because you may be reaching way more people than you think. Okay, so that is something that's important. Now, sharing from platform to platform. Right now, we have a whole lot of stuff. 7:30, we're doing well. We have a whole lot of social media going on, right? Facebook started. If you're my age, MySpace was there. Facebook started, got really big. Instagram came out and was like, yeah, we're the thing. And the people that jumped over to Instagram was like, yep, here we go. And Facebook became just kind of friends. Like, this is my little friend zone, my family zone. Instagram, this is where I want everyone in the world to think I'm a celebrity. Yes, this is perfect. I want everyone to follow me. This is what we're going to do. And then that started to slow down because they changed the algorithm. So it got harder and harder to find people. And then the world shut down and everybody started talking about faith and politics and opinions about things. So everyone started hating on Facebook, right? Everyone left Facebook, which is where all of our education groups are. But I was watching oils people who, I mean, I love everyone dearly, but I was watching them get wrapped up in the tornado of sharing their opinions. And then they were getting all of these angry things. And guess what happened? Facebook dropped. So all of their education and the business they built suffered because they didn't link that those things are affecting both, even though an oils group over here that they run is doing great and it's got lots of, and it's all positivity. Over in here, they're just trash talking everything and boom, no one wants to go on Facebook and see anything anymore. So guess where nobody is? No one's in the groups anymore. Anybody have that happen to them? Anybody watch their education groups go south? Yeah, people started not liking Facebook in general. So everyone was sick of it. They just wanted happy. Guess what landed? TikTok. And so many people had opinions about TikTok. Of course, it was, from a different country. People had issues with that. There are legal things that are set to make sure that people in the United States are safe. But I jumped over there because I was so sick of Facebook. Instagram, I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't getting any followers. I just wanted to have some fun. So I jumped over and started doing all of these TikToks, these little reels, and boom, I started getting followers and more followers. I'm at over 450,000 followers over there because the algorithm was through the roof, just like Instagram was. So then all of a sudden, what happens? Facebook buys Instagram and says, we're going to become Meta. And we don't want anybody over on TikTok anymore. We want to bring everyone back over. And originally, it was everyone back over to Instagram. So they started to run out with Reels. Reels is Facebook's answer to TikTok. Don't go over there. You can get so much more from our universe because TikTok only has videos. We have groups, we have events, we have all the things, and we have everybody on Instagram. Come on over. So everybody was super excited on Instagram, start learning Reels. Well, that started to build, and that started to build, and that started to build. But then Facebook goes, really, Instagram is just part of our meta universe. Why don't we add Reels on Facebook? And this is where your brain has to completely change. Facebook is no longer for your friends and your family. Facebook is now the biggest social media monster. I don't say that in like a bad way, but entity out there right now trying to drive everyone to get back to Facebook. So if you have put Facebook to the side and you go, I don't like it, guess what? Facebook is going to grow with or without you. So you may need to put your past behind you, and you may need to run into Facebook full steam ahead, because let me tell you, they will reinforce you if you do the things correctly. You've got to play by their rules. You may not like that, but guess what? It's their world. If you can come up with a social media platform that can beat Facebook, by all means, go ahead and do it. Let me know. I will be right there. But until then, I'm not going to sit down and trash talk and not use something that could get me more followers than anyone else right now. So now that I've completely rearranged some things for you, it's a little bit of tough talk, but that's because I really, really want people to jump into this. I started, and this is how it works. We're going into the Facebook thing, and then we'll go into questions. I started to do Reels over on Facebook, and I did not just cross share from Instagram. If you cross share from one platform to another, it won't hit the new platform's algorithm. If you love Instagram and you love making Reels over on Instagram, before you post them, download them to your phone, go over to Facebook Reels, upload them. I know it takes a little bit of time, but it's well worth it. Re-add the music. Sometimes they don't have what you want from Instagram to Facebook. So I tell everyone to do Facebook first. You may not find all of the voiceovers that people might be using on one platform. Maybe you have to get a little bit more creative, but cross-sharing does not give you the algorithm boost. Facebook wants you to use Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels independently because you're using their tools on their platforms. They do not want you cross-sharing. You can take the same video and you can share it in both places, and that will hit the algorithm in both places. And that is what's happening with me right now. I have taken my TikToks that I have made, so I've got them all banked. Of course, I make new ones, but I can take those. On TikTok and Instagram, you can save stuff to your phone as a live photo. I don't know if you can do it on Android, but you can do it on iPhone. If you save it as a live photo, it scrubs out the TikTok and Instagram logo. Then you save it as a video, and it'll return that photo into the same video without all of the watermarking that you get from different platforms. And then you edit it and slide the bottom of the video up just a little to get rid of the TikTok and Instagram still logo in the bottom. And that is a fresh video that has nothing else printed on it. You can use that anywhere. So for people who are like, I don't want to post my TikToks on Instagram because it has the TikTok logo bouncing around, or Instagram logo, which is subtle, but it's there. If you want to scrub stuff, that's how you scrub stuff. So you want to make sure that you are posting through the platforms individually to get the biggest bang for your buck. And that is what has happened to me. So when I started oils, and everybody can say, oh, well, Bryan, you work with animals. I have not posted stuff with the animals from work in a long time. I have not posted stuff with the animals in videos on Reels because Facebook, for the past 3 months, we'll see if it happens again, has paid me for Reels. That is now another option. If you use Reels enough, they will give you the ability to generate money from your views like TikTok does. So I have been growing my following without the sea lions and the penguins. So people were trying to use that as an excuse with me, but for the past 3 months, that's not the case. So when I started oils, I think I had about 200 Instagram followers. I am at 25,000. About in September, I was at about 11,000, I think. But because I started posting on Reels, it started to go up and up and up. Because why? Instagram wants you to use Reels. They don't just show your followers, they push them out to everybody. Everybody. So Facebook decided to do Reels. I already saw what was happening. So I said, okay, here we go. And I took the TikToks and I went over and I posted them on Instagram. I took the same ones and I uploaded them to Facebook. I had 1,000 followers at the beginning of September last year on Facebook. If your Facebook is private, you're going to have to consider that. If that's what you want, that's what you want. You're not going to get followers. If you want to use the platform for your business and your overall branding of yourself and what you're doing, you may need to unprivatize it, make it public so that you can gain followers. I had 1,000 followers in the beginning of September, and I just checked, I'm just around 209,000 followers on Facebook. Instagram doesn't even hold a candle to it. TikTok has twice as much as Facebook right now, but I can't educate people about oils over there because TikTok blocks MLMs. You will lose your account if you do too much over there. So I can't even talk about oils over there. So now I have almost 209,000 followers on Facebook. And guess where I can put them? In all the education groups. What? Think about that. So what I did is I started to create Reels. I even have the little thing right here, and then we'll get into questions. It's right here. This is the cycle that we do in this household every day, right, Devin? So I know Reels is how it's going to find me a warm market, constant warm market. I make Reels. They can be whatever you want. It doesn't have to be oils. It can be anything you want. 15 seconds to a minute. You can make them as great or as like basic as you want them. They will push them out there. Make Reels. Put hashtags now. Start using hashtags on everything on Facebook because it's turned into Instagram and TikTok. It is not your friends and family anymore. You want to do Reels? Then go live because now your followers are seeing you. Go live and just say, hey, everyone, how are you? Let's talk. What questions do you have for me? Ignore the mean questions that come up. Ignore like, Bryan, your hat's stupid. It's tattered. It's torn. Sometimes I'll deal with it and I'll be like, oh, well, actually my dead partner gave this to me. So thank you for saying that. Everyone else watching is like, oh, that just happened. Wow. I can't believe, and that person will not bother me again about it. I don't worry about haters. I'll wrap this all up with what to do about haters, and then we'll go into some questions. So we go live, start talking. I go live, could be from the couch. I could go to the beach and go, hey, everybody, I'm at the beach. I just want to share the sunset with you. Sharing the sunset with everybody. I'm not even talking, but all of my followers get a chance to see life in action in real time. And that's really important. Why? Because it validates who you are. You may not really love lives, but if you are not loving lives, it might be because you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Pretend your friends are in the room with you and you're just having a conversation. Hey, how's it going? Call them out when you see them. Hey, Susie, how are you? Where are you from? Oh my gosh, Chicago. I've never been there. I've heard I've got to go. Oh, hey, John. Wow, Australia. I've always wanted to go. When you mention people in your lives, you are connecting with them in a bigger way than you realize. I've gotten messages. Thank you so much for saying my name. I was like, what? That person has signed up with oils and a brand partner now. That wasn't my intent. I just wanted to say hello to everybody. Of course, I want oils in everybody's home, but wow, I didn't realize that just acknowledging them really had that kind of an effect. So when we go live, I always share my link but I also share my widowed blog. So if there's other things you're interested in that people follow you for, you don't have to have just your oils link in there. Share both of those. Um, if you, when you do that, also copy the links right before you go live. Then go live, go to comment, say hi to everybody, and make your links the first comment, because sometimes people can't see them. They have a hard time. They're not going to see the description of the video while they're watching you, but they could scroll and get to the comment and click on whatever it is that they want to get to. Remember that we are serving people. So serve them in whatever way helps you. I love when people reach out to me and they tell me that reading my widowed blog got them through another day after their child had passed away. That brings me joy, that what I went through was horrible, but I can take it, share it, and it gives somebody else relief somehow. If they get oils, I don't care. Do I want them to have them? Yes. But my goal isn't for oils. My goal is to help people. And when you share your life in ways to help people, that is when the authenticity really, really clicks. So reels get you followers. You go live and you share your stuff. That turns into signups. And that is all I'm doing. And that is all I'm trying to teach all of my brand partners to do, is do reels, gain followers, go live, talk to your people, connect with your people. They will sign up if they're ready. Every time go live, talk about whatever, and every single time oils comes up out of somebody else's question. Sometimes we bring things up, but usually right here, I didn't set it up today. We have the aria going. It's just in the background. It's in the background of my reels. It's just, I've had people ask. It's my life. It's just part of my life. People will notice the details. So remember that if you keep going. And I'm going to share with you the type of enrollments that I have had since I've started this. September was a little slow. I believe that was around 5. October was also 6, I think. I didn't look those up, but that's when all the reels were getting posted. Now, people do not necessarily need, these numbers don't mean they all ordered, but it doesn't matter. I know some people freak out and they're like, the first 3 months you get 25%. I don't care about 25% if somebody orders on month 4 and they order 1,000 PV worth of stuff in a brand partner kit because it took them that long. In the long run, I would rather them be comfortable with me and educated on using the products long term than just getting that rush to 25 at the beginning. So that may be something else that you want to consider. I tell people they can create an account and they can order whenever they want. They don't have to do it right then. It takes the pressure away. Let's get you in the education groups, because that is how you will learn to use products comfortably. It's their journey, not ours. So I always share with them. In November, when my followers exploded, I couldn't keep up. I had 58 signups that month. In December, I had 36 signups. Same system. December is always a little slower. People are doing the holiday stuff, right? We know that. January, people say it's slow. 58 signups. It's after the holidays. People are paying off their holiday bills, all that. It's slow. Then February, there's less days that month. Definitely not a good month to sign up. Nope, definitely. I've heard that too. I had 122 people sign up in February, all because I did the same system over and over. And we are now at March 14th, right? Pi Day, International Pi, 3/14. Yes. I'm at 55 signups. And we're not even halfway through the month. I'm not doing anything different. I'm not doing crazy reels. I'm not doing I'm just showing up as myself 100% and sharing where I am at. The good, the bad, the indifferent, whatever. The silly jokes, good morning in my stories, just saying hi to people. Because now social media, all people want now is a connection. All people want is to be acknowledged, the same as all of us do. All of us just want that. That is what I'm doing. I'm providing positivity for people because there's so much negativity out there. If you don't want to be on social media because it's so negative, I am going to challenge you right now that you need to help me make social media more positive. Don't run away. I need you. We all need to make that a much safer place for people. because that's the point of it. We're such social animals. We need to be able to come together in a safe place. So if you're like, Facebook's terrible, I can't be on there, I'm challenging you to not step back and let them win. Don't. Every time somebody stops smiling, the world gets darker. And I'm not having it anymore. Yeah. I didn't even put Valor on before this call. Duh. But this is how I operate all the time, 100%. You can ask Devin. He's like, do you ever stop? I don't. If you are a shining light, people will come to you. We're here to gather people and collect souls to bring them to a better place, wherever that might be. That's why we're here. And I'm not going into faith. I'm just saying this is just how I honestly, truly feel that I'm here to make people's lives better so that we can make everything better. So if you're running away from social media because it's dark, I need you to turn that light on, because you will get followers. That is what people want. And now the last thing, if you're afraid of the haters, guess what? Haters are going to show up. Like Taylor Swift will tell you. They will show up. And here's something to think about. You're more valuable than their words. There's plenty of people out there that like you. And number one fan is you. So if you're showing up authentic, it doesn't matter what your hat looks like. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter what your backdrop is. You matter. So get out there and show somebody that you're out there, because you probably have something they need. It might be an anchor in an emotional storm, and you post something and that person stops from making the one decision in the world that they can't undo. Imagine when you get that message, because I've gotten that. You have a lot of amazing, amazing ability to help people in so many different ways. Don't just think about oils. When you expand it to all things, social media explodes, because that is what people need. So if somebody says something nasty on your comments, you have things to do. You can hide them. You can delete them. If you hide them, it's funny because they think everybody can see it, but nobody can. So then they realize everyone's still liking your stuff and not agreeing with them. So that punishes the person because it's still there, but they're not getting the attention. So you're in control of that. It's your social media. That's Facebook. Instagram, delete them. Who cares? And if it's like Aunt Sally and it's going to cause a big problem, just hide her. Hide it. It doesn't make a difference. And if she's going to trash talk everything that you're doing, honestly, some friends are closer than family, right? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You really want to throw them off and also help yourself with the algorithm? Thank them. So if somebody says to me, I've had people say things to me. Your dancing is absolutely terrible. Like, oh, well, hey, thank you for letting me know that that was your opinion. I see that you don't dance at all, so I'm curious about what your experience is. But anyway, thank you for commenting. Did you know that your negative comment actually boosts up my post in the algorithm and you've made me more popular? So go ahead and comment again. Guess what they don't do? They don't comment again on anything. Why? Because they know it helps you. If you have enough followers, it doesn't matter, because if somebody says something hateful, your followers will destroy you. And not that I want people to be torn apart on social media. It does really make you feel good that you're a good person and people love you. So don't worry about the haters. Don't worry about what people are going to think, because those are not your people. You don't want them around. You do not want them around. So that is the last of the excuses to get rid of. And that's sometimes the hardest, right? Other people's opinions. But in all honesty, if you're just being you and you're a good person, at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. So don't care, get out there and share. There you go. All right. Now, who has questions? Let's see. Jill, I don't know if you want to jump on and maybe navigate some of the questions, or what?
Oh, I'm just gonna wait for the chat. I mean, a lot of this stuff was like, if they don't have Reels in Facebook or Instagram yet, I mean, I think a lot of that you just kind of Google and figure out do I have the right system? Is it updated, restarted? Maybe it's time to, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can look up stuff on YouTube. That's how I learned some of my stuff, is searching, and there's plenty of breakdowns on how to do it, where they scroll through their phone and they show you. So if you're watching it on your computer, you can hold your phone and literally do what they're doing, so that you can have the muscle memory.
Yeah, this one is good. Can you share about how showing up in the depths of grief when it feels hard?
Mhm. Yes. Grief is very difficult in a lot of different facets. What I have learned is that the hardest thing about grief is the first year. Everything is just a complete fog. So you don't know what you're doing. If something terrible happens, you shouldn't make a giant decision right away, because you are not. You may be in. You're going to be in survival mode. We're all animals. Fight or flight happens, and so it took a little bit of time for me to learn that I wasn't going to fix everything right away, and it's always going to be part of me. It doesn't go away. You don't get over it. So once you accept that, and that this is where you can lean right into the oils. On days when I'm like, I get so mad and I'm like, I still don't understand. I don't know why. I will go to the oils and I will go, what am I feeling? Grab the opposite. If I don't want to accept what's happening right now, I need acceptance, but I also need hope. I got to put those on. So in the depths and sharing from deep down, you don't have to share all the details. Some things you can keep sacred to yourself. There are some things that have happened to me in life I haven't shared with people. Maybe someday I will, but I'm not ready to yet. That's okay. But the parts that you can share, once you share them and you get 100 people commenting, me too, I also feel this way, it validates you and you instantly have much more control over the narrative that's going on inside your head and your heart. When I learned that me sharing was actually helping me work through it, me sharing was helping myself out first. Again, biggest fan, right? Be your own biggest fan. And then sharing with others, I could see how that benefited them. So it just became easier and easier to do because I realized I wasn't alone. So many times when we lose somebody, you instantly are like, I'm by myself now. Oh no, especially if it's your partner, your husband, your wife, like whoever that person is. It could be your parent, it could be anybody, but once you can go down that road a little bit and realize you're the one that's going to have to pick yourself up and walk, nobody else can do it. You learn that you can dive deep into those emotions. Sharing them lifts, kind of gets rid of the weight, and then you're reinforced with all these other people that go, yes, thank you for being the one that speaks. And when you realize you're giving a voice to so many other people, it makes it so much easier to share all aspects of your life. And that's really, it's a huge part of the connection.
Next one. How do you choose hashtags? We'll lighten the mood up a little bit. How do you
Yes.
choose hashtags?
Yes. So I don't want to be Debbie Downer. But that's it's part of the balance. You can't be like 1,000% happy all the time or you come off fake. So how do I choose hashtags? I will pick a bunch of hashtags that fit in with whatever topic. I like to pick different topics, especially with different songs. You can pick, like, if I picked a song from the 70s, I can throw in hashtag 70s, hashtag 70s baby, because I was born in the 70s, hashtag 70s music. I can grab a couple lyrics from that song and maybe like hashtag bell bottoms, like throw in some really fun stuff, and then throw in things like I put in hashtag smile, hashtag laughter. Laughter is the best medicine. Hashtag Sea Lion Bryan. That's my brand. It's my company name. And so I mix and match all of those things. If I'm posting something about my widowed blog, it's hashtag grief, hashtag mindset. It could be hashtag loss, hashtag growing, hashtag positive outlook. So I'm blending things together that are going through a number of different hashtags that might pull in different people from different genres into the same thing. Um, Hashtag emotions, hashtag feelings, that could be anything.
Okay. Do people enroll from your main page or do you leave a link in the reel comments?
So I do my main page. I actually haven't posted my link in my reels. I've been a little careful with that because of the way TikTok is with MLM. So I don't know exactly. I've directed people, if they see my main profile and they start to follow me, they're going to start seeing stuff. So the links, when I post something about oils on Facebook, it doesn't get as much of an interaction as it does when I go live. So it's the lives where I post, and those are the signups. When we go live, I'd say probably each time I get at least 4 signups from each live. And everyone's rewatching those. And here's another thing to do. Go back to your old posts and thank everybody for commenting. I'll jump back into the lives in the comments and I'll say, hey, everybody, thank you so much for watching. This is so amazing. All these people are chatting. Again, if you need my link, here it is, and I'll throw it in the comment again. So I haven't done it on Reels, and that might just be a block for me. Maybe I should, but a lot of my Reels aren't about oils.
Connecting with the lives, how do you get people to show up live to your lives?
Sometimes we just jump on and there we are, and whoever shows up, shows up. Those are who were meant to show up that day. I look at social media as everything happens in life for a reason. So sometimes we jump on live and we end up getting a couple of people. Sometimes more often than not now, because of the followers, I'm averaging 400 to 500 people on lives the entire live, which is huge. But also we will generate excitement. I've posted earlier in the day or a day before, going live at this time, make sure you're here. And I pick times that work for people. And usually nighttime, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern is a great time because a lot of people are home, they're wrapping up dinner, or they're done, they're ready, they're laying on the couch. It's prime scroll time.